I hope everyone got my message. I was trying to go live on the, I want to wait here for a minute to see if I can get, if anybody gonna join after I send that message. Waiting to see if anybody's gonna join. I had a few people waiting for my live, and I apologize. There we go. I don't know what I did. So let's cancel this. Anybody join yet? There we go. Somebody has joined. Oh, hi Sharon. I hope it's warm down there. I hear it's very warm. Let me close out of what I've got started here. I'm in my tablet here. Oops. Sorry about that. I did the schedule thing on the live, and then somehow I couldn't bring that up on my phone, and I think it's because I set it up on my laptop. So, see, I like warm. I'm always cold. I took my jacket off for this, but I normally wear a jacket 24/7. And I just, let's see. Let me close out of this. Let me try something. Here we go. Wonder if I can cancel this on my phone, on my laptop. Let's do this. Let's see if we got, if you can just bear with me just a second. I'm going to try to close out of this live that's scheduled on my laptop. I'm learning, obviously. I'm going to give it an extra minute because there were a couple people waiting on the other one. So let me go to this. Let's see if I can cancel this. No, I don't want to watch later. I need to go into my, well, I think we'll worry about that later. Manage videos. There we go. Oh, I got 3 people. Well, hi, Linda. I'm sorry for the changeover. I was telling Sharon that I scheduled it with my laptop, and I'm recording on my phone because my laptop wanted something added, and I'm not that savvy. I can do certain things, but I'm not real savvy on a lot of this. And so anyways, I want to try not to okay, I'm not going to worry about it, honestly. Okay, we'll figure this out. And Yakumi, hello. I apologize. It is coming over in your language, and I apologize. I can't read that. Whoa. So, but hello. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. I've got 10 people. Very excited about that. So, real quick, let me get it out. We'll get right into it. Now, as I had mentioned, we are, I have like my handles and stuff together, so we don't have to mess with that stuff. Thanks. Hello. I have a Japanese, I sew on a Juki, so I love my Juki. Okay. So, this is what we're sewing. I hope I am not backwards. I know a lot of people who do stuff with YouTube have issues with being backwards and whatnot. So I'm hoping I am straightforward. So we're going to sew the Rachelle. This is Shamballa's newest, actually it's her last of this quarter of her Zodiac membership. And I thought it would be kind of appropriate since I am a Gemini and this is her Gemini. I am backwards. Or am I frontwards? Well, maybe the pattern might be backwards. Hopefully it's just the pattern. Am I okay? Am I okay? Do you see? Let me see. The words on the pattern. Okay, so it's just that my camera is inverted. I do have my camera tilted down a little bit, but that's because of all the because of where I didn't want you to have to see all that. You see a lot of my stuff in the background, and my shirts. So all my words are backwards. Let me look. Let me try this little. Let me look at this. See what this does. Nope, that goes to my other camera. We don't want that because I have that turned off. Thank goodness. Okay. Well, I'm hoping maybe when I do the sewing, it won't matter while I sew. We'll see. So anyways, so the Rachelle, that's what we're sewing. So let's go ahead. Oh, thank you. These are, it was a I think I got them off of Amazon. It was like a multi-pack, off of Amazon. And these are just, yeah, these are just readers because I got old. So it happens. I never had to wear glasses in my life until I hit my 50s. Honestly, I didn't have to even wear readers until I got into my 50s. So that's, yeah, that's what happened with me is I just got old. I got blessed. I was very blessed with decent eyes. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do these top stitch these strap connectors real quick. And the reason I'm doing that is because when I did her pattern, I'm going to lower the camera here in just a second. But when I did cut out all my pieces and everything, I couldn't find the measurements on strap connectors, or when I was cutting out the pieces, I went back and looked for it and I couldn't find it. It may be there, but I didn't see it. So I went and cut some real quick. Because she's got the side on the side of the bag, she uses hidden strap connectors instead of like little hardware, using hardware, which I'm going to do the hidden strap connectors. I like that, especially since I'm using a lot of hardware already in this bag. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put my camera down as I do this. I'm a little nervous, I'm not going to lie. And of course my double-sided tape decided to act up on me. And I haven't had one with my double-sided tape. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera down, and then we'll see. Hopefully when I'm sewing, you're not going to have any issues as far as frontwards or backwards. And I'm using this extension arm. There we go. I'm using the extension arm, and sometimes I have problems, so let's hopefully this thing doesn't flop. I did that once when I was trying to record something. Let me, I can't see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch the comments. Let's see. I'm gonna try to do this. Not letting me. What I'm trying to do is pull up so I can see the comments on my tablet, because with my camera tilted down on the table, I have a hard time seeing the comments. So let me move my tablet over and get this. Okay, live. Let's do it this way. Sorry, guys. I know I apologize too much. I'm trying to. All my other stuff that I watched today is popping up. View channel. Well, I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Okay. So, anyways, I love Sammy's patterns. She has some of the really neat shaped bags. And I've bought a lot of her patterns. I did, I'm working on a tutorial for the Serafina. It's an older pattern. It's a 2021, I want to say. I made one. I started to record that video on that on the first one I made, and I should have read the pattern before I started, but I didn't. And as I was making it, I was doing stuff backwards, and I'm like, okay, let's just finish this bag. I love the bag, and I'll make another one. So I got another one cut out. I'm going to actually do a tutorial on it because it's not a hard bag to make. Let me rethread. Sorry, I took my thread out. I was working on another bag right before this. I'll show you what I was working on. I absolutely love. I'm making a Saya Sidekick as a gift. I don't know if she's on here, so I can't say who it's for, just in case. Sorry, I'm threading real fast, so I had to change out my thread. I'll show you, because I just got the exterior finished. I kind of finished the exterior first before the interior, because I know how Lynn's has got it, where you do you start the exterior and then you work on the lining and so on and so forth, and I wanted to get the exterior done. I'm that way. Okay. Let me be patient with me here. Oh, and my daughter's on here. She's out with a former co-worker. Hello, Cassandra. All right. I'm trying, let's see. But let me show this bag real fast. Let me get this, if I can get my thread in there. There you go. Oh, my thread's coming loose here. I was going to try to be like 100% ready. But I got excited working on that bag. And as just so you know, in case I had mentioned it a few minutes ago, but I do sew on a Juki 1541S. I've had it since the first of the year. I absolutely love this machine. I have sewn a lot of my bags on a domestic. It was an Elna, and it that's not 1 inch. I need to cut these down. I cut these too long, too wide. But anyways, my domestic, I literally just, I wore it out. I mean, I still use it to sew fabrics and stuff, but that poor thing, I just absolutely pushed it to its max. Sorry, I'm trying to get my cutter. I cut these too wide to make these what I need them to be. I think this is what I need here. All right, I'm messing up. All right. Trying to get these side connectors done real fast, which I really shouldn't. I shouldn't really worry too much about it doing it right this minute, but okay, how many do we have on here? 7? That's exciting. Okay. But anyways, I love this machine. It's a beast. And I push this to the max too on some of my stuff. Okay. So everything's like most everything's 3/4 inch on this bag. So I messed up. I was thinking I needed to go bigger. I was thinking 1 inch when I did this, and I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't look right. I mean, as far as the hardware and stuff, which I can tell you that because it's in the materials and stuff, but I get this done. That way when we get to the connectors, it will we'll have this all ready to go. Okay, now let's get right to it. So I'm going to go ahead real fast and tell you the pieces. I should have already done that by now. There's a lot of pieces. I am doing piping. I've done piping once on a bag, and that was the Serafina, and I actually didn't have any problems. The only thing is let me go grab it real fast. The only thing is one side of the piping is a little bit, sticks out a little bit, just a tad bit. Hi, Nancy. And Cassie's new dog. My daughter just got a dog. Her other dog had passed, and she got a new dog this week, and it's a Scotch Collie. It's scared of everything. But anyway, so here's the piping. The first time I did piping, so it sticks out just a little bit on this side, but I still think it looks really good. I really like this bag. This is the one I'm going to do a tutorial on, is this bag. I think it's so cute. But anyways, so we're going to do piping. So you need your piping. I've already got it prepped and ready to go. And basically, I think where I learned how to prep the piping is, I think I got it from Amber Alt Crafty Reporter. I'm pretty sure that's where I seen it. But anyways, when Sammy gives you the measurement of how to cut your piece, or what to cut it for, but I drew a center line, and then I just put some a 1/4 inch double-sided tape down, and then I just placed the piping down. And I think this is a little bit bigger than what she calls for in the pattern, but when I bought my piping from Wawak, I didn't realize I bought so much until I pulled it out of the box, and I about died when I seen how much I bought. So that's going to be used for any piping I use, will be that until I can get that down. I don't think I'll ever get rid of it. But anyways, so there's the piping. You only need one strip because it goes around the front of the bag. Let's see. This bag has, you'll need a bottom connector, and I've already prepped my bottom connector, but I'll show you when we get to it, real fast how I did it. But you need a bottom connector. The pattern calls for, she's got different options for the flap, and her flaps, you can do, I'm pulling it up here. I think I have a picture of it, what I do with the pattern. Here, I'll show you real fast. There's 3 options on how you can close this bag. Let me go real fast. Let me pull that out. I'll give you the final dimension sizes too, in case you're wondering. Well, there we go. So you have a loop strap closure, where you're just closing it with the loop, and that's the closure. You can also do a you're still using a loop, but you are using a magnet to close it. That's the one I'm using, because whereas the other one you do it's 2 loops. It's hard to do this on this. You do 2 loops, and that's how you close it. And you got that cute little buckle. That's just for decoration, or which I got that. But this is the one I'm doing here. It's going to be snap closure, so I only need 1 strap loop. Well, actually, it's still 2 strap loops, but it's still a little different. I'm going to use a magnetic closure on mine. And then you also have the option to just snap it shut at the top. She gives you can do 2 snaps and snap shut at the top, or you can use a zipper placket closure, which I'm doing zipper placket. I like that. I like closed bags. I like to have my bags closed, shut, sealed, and all that kind of fun stuff. The size of this bag, it's 10 inches tall, 14.5 inches wide, and 4 inches deep. So it's a good sized bag. I think in her description, you can put like a small laptop in there, I think, is what she stated in her description. I know definitely a tablet would fit in there. I think if you put a small laptop, you may want to use magnet closures in case you want it needs to be left open, because if it's not going to if it exceeds it just a little bit at the top. Okay, and I'm rambling again. Okay, so again, we've got the flap. I got this so I've got option B. So I cut the flap strip for the option B. And then I'm using my bottom connector, and she tells you option B for the bottom connector. My little strap loop, I've already got it prepared, and this is the tiniest little thing you'll ever see. These are my strap loops. Those are real fun to create and sew because they're so tiny when you top stitch them. Let me get them all back together. And then you have a flap panel. Now, I've had to reread this pattern a couple times to make sure I understand where all of these pieces go. So while I sew it, I may have to think about it again, because you got a center panel, a flat panel, and flat bottom connectors. There's all kinds of things, but I think it comes out really neat in the end. And in her, like in her front picture where she shows it, two different colors, the bottom where the bottom connector and the flap connector, you've got she's got this one in her little picture. She's got it where it's all solid one color. I'm doing different colors on mine. I'm hoping my glimmer blue, my emerald blue, will look okay with it. If not, I have more oceanic blue, my flat panel part, and then I can just blend it all together if I have to do it. So you got your flat panel, and then a flat panel stabilizer, and I'm using, she suggests to use Craft Tex, and I have some of that, so I'll go ahead and use that just to test it and see what it's like. Top band, you'll need 2 top bands. That's that little decorative part at the top of the bag. Your gusset, it's called gusset bottom. So you'll have your gusset bottom. And then I have not adhered my stabilizer yet to my gusset. And actually, any parts of the bag has not received the stabilizer yet, because you don't add the stabilizer until you sew certain pieces together. So what we'll do is once I sew them, I'm going to have my heat press on. And then I will, actually, let me turn it on real quick. I can reach over and grab it. I'm going to use the screwdriver. There we go. I need to have that ready to go. So when I get to that part, I can just run over and then heat press it and be done with it. So you don't have to wait too much longer. But yeah, some of these pieces do not get adhered until you sew some things together. So we will do that. And then I cut an extra piece of stabilizer, just some Peltex, only because I like a nice stiff bottom. So I've got my Decoville, or this is actually the comparative Decoville. I get this from Got Interfacing. It's her Barbara's band. Oh, hello. Hi, Annette. Thank you so much for joining. That's and also, in case anybody wonders, I forgot to tell you, all of my pieces, my exterior pieces, and my lining are all Tulip Bee, which she just joined, Annette. Please go visit her website, tulipbee.com. She's got great stuff. I can't, and that's what my Serafina is, all Tulip Bee stuff. I love it. It's so pretty. And my favorite faux reel, this is her faux with this biscuit color. My gosh, that's my favorite color. I use it in just about every bag I make. Okay, except this one doesn't have it. Anyways, so your gussets is there. You can tell I'm nervous because I'm just rambling and I'm going all over the place. Okay, so you need a crossbody strap, which I told you I already made, and I am using Saya Swag's cotton candy. This is Tech 70. And I love, this is one of my most favorite threads that she has. Besides her, what is that one? I can't think of the other one. It's her Be My Know Me. I love her Be My Know Me. But this one, if it matches anything in the bag, I will use it. And I picked this because of all the colors that's going to be in my bag. Okay, so you've got your crossbody and your handles. And the handles are short handles, but they are short for a reason, because it's kind of like meant to be, you know, something that you could carry to work or whatnot. So I would not make the handles any longer. If you need something to carry on your shoulder, you can always shorten your crossbody strap. Zipper pocket piece. This is Smoothie Smooth. And, oh my gosh, I can't think of the color. I should know this color. I'll have to go run real quick and look at it real fast. But anyways, this is my lining. So this is the zipper pocket piece. Okay. I've got my 2 pieces of stabilizer. Again, we don't put this on until we put some of the pieces together. This is my back panel piece. This is my floral. This is Tulip Bee. I can't think. I should have these stuff. I was going to write everything down so I would remember it off the top of my head. Of course, I know this one. This is Faux Real. Oh, Ballet Pink. I don't know, Annette. Let me, it's right behind me. Pardon my rear there. That's not it. I know I have it. Ah, I thought it was right. Oh, there it is right here. I never put ballet slipper. You're right. I didn't put it back in my box. Okay, yes, it's ballet slippers, that pink. This is her Faux Real, the Saya, her Saya pink, named after Kasaya from Saya Swag. This one is, the floral is her Morning Meadow. It's her signature smooth Morning Meadow. Love this stuff. I have another bag I made with this, and I don't think anybody's ever seen it. But anyway, and I put it with a different, I put this with a different color, and that's what I like, because I can use pink. You got your greens, and the bag that I put it with is with a forgot what the color. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Now your gusset is in several pieces. So you've got your top gusset, then you've got a middle gusset. And then that's why we're not putting a lot of the interfacing on yet, because you've got your top gusset, your middle gusset, and your bottom gusset. It's in different pieces. The side of your bag is in different things, because you've got your accents. It's all accented. It's real pretty how she's got it. You've got your accents there, so it kind of all matches up. Okay. Then this is your accent pieces for the front and back, and I've got it started, but I've got one that we'll do together, but all the rest of them, I've got them started. Let's see, lining main panel. There's your lining, you need 2 of those. And then this has got a welt pocket, which I don't know that I've done one. I don't think I have. So hopefully if we can get to, I don't know that we're going to get to the lining tonight. I've already rambled too long and haven't even started making the bag. It's 30 minutes in. So, probably won't get to the lining or the lining or the inside of the bag tonight, but I can at least get most of the exterior, hopefully. This is the front panel center part. So this is in the center where you're going to have your little flap thing. I forgot what it's called. This is her Faux Real. This is Tulip Bee Faux Real in the Oceanic Blue. Very pretty blue. Your front panel, you have 2 pieces of those, and you will mirror this. So when you place this down, you just cut one. This is not on a fold. This is one whole piece. And then you'll mirror it for the other one. She gives you placement on the connectors. So you've got that. So you know where to put your connectors at. And then we're almost done with these pieces. And then you'll need your back zipper pocket, because this back of the bag has a zipper pocket. And then your lower panel, back panel, the bottom part for where you put the pocket at. Okay, this is what I'm going to need first. I'm going to grab this out, put all of this back. Let's see. I'm trying to put this back, lining panel. Oh, there we go. All right, so accent pieces, I know I'm going to need those. Gussets, stabilizers. I mean, there's a lot of pieces. A lot of pieces. Oh, don't lose the strap connectors. All right. I'm going to keep this on top. All right, so let's go ahead and get going here. I think you should be able, I'm hoping you should be able to see me. Let me tilt this a little more. The floral, yeah, Morning Meadow. And it's going to be stocked, yeah, restocked real soon. She's had to wait for an order, so she's working on restocking. So anybody, if you check on her and it's the certain color, oh, the heat press is ready. Certain colors not available, don't forget to check back. I do. Okay. So the first part of the bag, is you're going to attach the, let me get to the page so I don't mess up, because I'm bad about starting to sew without looking at the pattern, and then that's how I always have to unstitch. Okay, so yes, so your first part, you're going to take one of your front panel pieces, and then one of your, and then your middle front panel, or center front panel is what it's called. Of course, you're going to put them right sides together, and then you're going to stitch these together. She does give you the seam allowance. I think she gives it to you at every step, which is good. I like it, because sometimes, because everybody has a different seam allowance, and I forget sometimes, because everybody's different. There's a few people that are real big on seam, has like really large seam allowances, and she doesn't. Shamballa's is not a very large seam allowance. Okay, on most of her bags, I should say. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to sew this at the seam allowance that she gives. Oh, I forgot to show you the other bag that I made. I showed you my Serafina, but I want to show you my other bag that I made. It's not finished. Again, it's a gift. I don't know if she's still on or not, but so I'm making a Saya sidekick for someone, and I made one. I made one when I did the Saya's Patreon. So when did we do this? Beginning of the year, I think it was. And she liked it, so I'm making her one. And I changed I changed it to a buckle. This is a cork, and this actually came from Sally Tomato. So the cork, it's a real pretty printed cork. But this is Tulip Bee. Her Timeless Tones, which I love her Timeless Tones. It's great to quilt. And I actually did Decoville light and foam, because when I made mine, I had already Decoville light. I wasn't going to quilt it, and then at the last minute, I decided to quilt it. So then I stuck foam on it. Foam on it. And since it's a drop-in lining, I didn't worry about the stiffness. And because it's a nice big opening when you got these little guys out, it's got a nice big, it was not real hard to turn, even with all that. But anyways, this is Timeless Tones. This is Espresso, her Timeless Tones. And then this is Biscuit, Faux Real Biscuit. But I love it. I love this bag. It is such a great bag. Anyway, I'm sorry. I meant to show that to you. And show and tell. And Toni, show and tell. Okay, so you've got your middle centerpiece stitch to your front panel, and then you're going to top stitch, but you're going to top stitch on your centerpiece here. I stitch my bag pieces together on more like a 3.5 stitch length, because I like that nice tight stitching. And my top stitch is like a 4.5. I kind of go a little bigger on a top stitch. It shows up a little more, unless I'm going real contrasty and I'm worried that I might mess up. With this variegated thread, I can go that way, even though it is a little, it shows up more, but it's variegated, so it doesn't show up as bad when you make a bunch of mistakes. I'm going a little slow than I normally go. All right. And my scissors have been on the magnets, and they've got scribing everything magnet. Okay, so there we go. That's one side. So you're going to do that to the other side. Get these all lined up and stitched. I do really want to get this exterior done tonight, but we'll see. I'm going to go till 10, and then we'll see where we're at 10. And if we need to go a little longer, we'll go ahead and go. Obviously, you don't need to be with me. You know, obviously I understand if you have to drop off if it's that late at night, because I'm not sure. I mean, where I'm at, it's Eastern Standard Time, so. And I've been up since 6:30, so I might, hopefully I don't fall asleep at the sewing machine. Not gonna happen. I can be half asleep after dinner and then come down here to sew, and I'm wide awake. All right, so we're going to top stitch that. Get that pressed, seam pressed out. All right. This thread looks so good with this. All the colors. All the pretty colors. I really love the shape of her bags. She has shapely bags. I try to look up. Oh, hi, Doris. Hey, Doris. My sister is on. The big sister. Okay, so there you go. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. It's a little off at the top, but you're going to have a piece that's going to cover that top, so you don't need to worry about that little bit right there, because when you put that accent piece on, you're going to trim this off to reduce bulk when you put that accent piece on, so don't worry about that if that happens. So you're good with that. So once you get that on, then you're going to get your done top stitching. Depending, of course, the connector that you're going to get, you're going to grab your bottom connector. And this is my bottom connector. Now, I'll show you what I did already. I've got it clipped so that it doesn't come apart, because this is the Tulip Bee, her emerald. And this is a very thick vinyl. So if you sew with a domestic, I'd be very careful when you do this. I would not go more than 2 layers of this if you sew a domestic, because it's very thick, but it's a beautiful. I don't know if you can see the shimmer of that. I have this in ruby red. I bought that because of my daughter when she was a little girl. She loved her ruby red slippers. There you go. I think you can see it better. All right. See you, Doris. Love you too. I'll be at Mom's tomorrow. Text me later and I'll tell you what time. Sorry. All right. So anyways, yeah, I'll be at my mom's turning. I don't care. I don't know if she's watching, but Mother's birthday is Sunday, and she will be 82 years old. So, which is fantastic. So, anyways, oh, there you go. You can see it. All right. So you're going to sew this on, and again, because the layer, see, I'm going to be sewing this on, and this is going to be, well, this is not real thin, but it's not real thick. So That's not a bad layer to sew on. So you're going to take your bottom connector. I'm going to put a little bit of double-sided tape on the back here, just a little bit, mainly just to hold it in place. So let me grab my double-sided tape. I'm just going to put it right in the center. I'm not going to go crazy with it. There you go, like that. And then I'm going to, now on here, now when I have to cut something on a piece of vinyl, I always print my pattern twice and then tape my folds where my folds are. I tape it because I don't like cutting vinyl on the fold. Oh, wow. That's great, Sharon. My mom, okay, so my mom, you'd have to know her. My mom will sit there and tell you she don't want to be 94 years old because she's funny. It's a running gag how my mom is, because she always keeps saying, well, I got about 3 more years to go. And that, oh my gosh, how long has she been saying that? For way more than 3 years. So she's funny. It's kind of a running gag when she talks about it. But anyhow, I just called her today to see if she wanted to go somewhere when I went there tomorrow. And she's saying no. And I said, how are you doing? She goes, I'm still here. I got up. But anyway, so I crossed that out so I wouldn't get messed up. But it gives you the snap placement of the piece. Here, I'm showing you piece measurements. It gives you the snap placement. So I'm going to go ahead and flip over my piece because I'm trying to think the snap placement. Let's see. Let me read real fast. Attach the bottom connector. So she doesn't have you put the snap on yet. Let me look real fast. I know, like I said, I know I looked at this 15 times last night. I want to make sure that I don't need to put on the snap before, because my concern is, because this is so thick. I know, Sharon, it's like, I don't know. It's funny. I know I'll probably be the same way. I mean, I just turned 60 and I'll probably be the same way, because there's no way I could make it that long between my hands and the way I feel half the time. But I'm trying to figure out if I need to put the snap on before I attach this to the bag, because I'm going to get so many layers, my snap may not lay well. And I'm looking at her pattern and she doesn't say, okay. She does have it going down. So on page 26, she does talk about the snap. So we're not there yet. And I apologize. I wanted to look real quick to make sure that I'm not missing something. Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and put this on. So you're going to center this with the bag. Let's go ahead and mark our centers. That's important, obviously, especially since we got to put something in the center. And you guys, if you like this video, give me a like. That little piece just flew across the room. Give me a like. I would appreciate it. Again, this is my first live. Well, first real live. I mean, I did that live when my daughter and I were at that craft show, and it was pouring down rain, and we were in that tent. That was awful. It was funny, but it was awful. I mean, I laughed about it afterwards. After I got off that live, I'm gonna tell you what, the sun came out, no lie, it was so off. It was awful. Pouring, I mean, it was the tent, water was coming through the roof of the tent. It was raining so hard. Water was pooling on one side. We realized afterwards why it was doing that. And then people started showing up. As soon as it stopped raining, people started showing up, and I'm like, I'm not even ready. I've been under this tent hiding out in the rain, pouring down rain. And then me and my daughter were trying to set up, and she was trying to help me change my setup a little bit because I had added grids and removed a table and added grids, and I could not get what she was saying. And we were, I mean, I don't know how, honestly, I just don't know how we did not have a absolute full-blown argument. It was amazing. Okay, so I've got my bottom connector on, it's centered, and then I'm going to top stitch this on the bag. And of course, top stitching, in case anybody wants to know, is usually 1/8 of an inch, always, unless the pattern designer has a different idea as far as top stitching. And I think this is going to look good. Of course, it is my bag, so I mean, I can say that, right? All righty. So look at that. Ooh, that looks so pretty. Let's hold it back so you can see it. I think that looks good. I don't know what's funny about me making my bags. If you knew me, like, for years, I am not, I carry like, what's funny is I carry my tiny little, it's like the Aspen crossbody that Center Street quilts. That's what I carry mostly. But when I went in the office, I had a different, I think I carried a different bag in the office every week, and people always comment on my bags. That was before I started selling them and doing anything like this. But it was always like, did you make that? Did you make that? But anyway, I don't hardly carry anything now. And then when I design bags for other people, I mix and match my colors way more than I would if I made it something for myself. It's no lie. I don't know why. I think, who knows why I do it. Okay, top band. Now we're going to the top band. In case anybody wants to know, we are on page 19. We're doing the top band. I already prepped one, but I'm going to show you real quick how I did this, how it's done. I have one that's not been done yet, but this one's already done, and she gives you lines to mark on the top, on this top band. This line is going to be, because it's a drop-in lining, so this line here at the top is going to be your fold-over line for your drop-in lining. She gives you another line at the bottom, and that line is going to be where you fold up the bottom of your top band, so you've got a nice finished edge at the bottom when you place it on your bag like this. Okay, so you'll have a nice finished line. If anybody's familiar, she has a bag called the Philippa bag. I love that bag. She does that at the bottom of the Philippa bag. She has a little band that goes at the bottom of it, and I made a few of those, and it's kind of similar to that. So when we get to the back piece, we'll do this on camera. I'll do that live so you can do it. But she gives you markings, and then she's got the piping line on here as well, which I need to do that real fast to mark where the piping starts. So if you give me a quick second, I forgot to mark that. And she does really good too on her pattern pieces. And I usually, sometimes when I cut, I usually put the pieces away, but with her, she's always got the markings on her pieces. And so I always try to keep them with the pattern pieces in case I forget to mark something, which of course I did. I forgot to mark my piping starting point. So I did that. Got my little piping mark there, just out of the seam allowance. Okay, so I've done that already. Again, I'll show you how to do that when I get to the back of the bag. Get all my little clips out of the way here. And I got that, make sure it's all down. So then you're gonna take this and add it to the top of your panel. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and line it up. You're not going to go above it or anything. You're going to line it up to the top of your bag like that. And then just, I'm going to throw some double-sided tape to hold it in place. I'm just going to be careful where I place it. If your machine doesn't like a double-sided tape, then I would try to keep it more centered because you're going to stitch here. You can glue this. I did double-sided tape because this machine can handle it. I just, of course, just got to watch the needle to make sure the needle doesn't get gummy, which I actually don't have problems. I mean, I check it, but I don't have problems with it getting gummy. I don't know if it's, I mean, this, it goes through double-sided tape like it's nothing. And my other machine, my domestic, oh, we had fights. We fought. I'm not going to lie. We fought a lot. I love it. It's a great little machine, but, well, that's why I got this, because I just wanted it to do more than it could do. I had high expectations for it. And that's kind of why I went with this machine, because I want to mark my centers. You want to mark your centers to make sure you mark to center it so it doesn't, because I can see that this is going to be just the slightest bit larger than the piece here, which, you know, sometimes it can vary with seam allowances and whatnot. So I'm going to center that out. And then I'm going to mark the centers. I'm going to match it up, and I'm going to place it down here. And I'm going to push down where this center is here. Let me pull this shit up a little bit. And then I'm going to push it out. Then I'm just going to clip here at the top to hold it still. Just to keep it from moving, because you're going to sew at the bottom here. But yeah, if glue is an option, if you are worried about double-sided tape, of course you want to glue your pieces before you sew, so that gives it time for the glue to dry. I've got a little pucker here at the side here, so I'm just trying to get that to flatten out. And two, if you need to flatten your pieces, you guys, I had my little roller here forever, and I was using it last night, prepping my pieces. There it is, my little tiny Dritz. This is not a Dritz. This is a Clover, little plastic roller. You can roll these out to help flatten them a little bit. Okay. So you're going to top stitch right along the bottom. So this is where you're top stitching right down through here to attach it. You're not going to sew the sides or the top yet. So go ahead. You're just going to top stitch there. Again, at your top stitch length. I think I've said it 5 times. Top stitch. So, and you just, obviously you want to take it slow since you got curves and everything. And it's 1/8 of it, and top stitching, of course, is 1/8 of an inch. Yeah, a regular top stitch length. So just kind of take it slow. That bothers me right there. I'm telling you what, that's bothering me. I feel like there's a little pucker there, and it'll feel like it's gonna, I don't know. It's just one of those things, I guess. I think I might have cut my slits just a tad bit too much in that spot. But I can live with it, I think. Ooh. Hi, Marilyn. I love machine. I love talking about my machine. I'm gonna tell you what, I love it. I know you can get some off-brand. I know I ended up with this because I was worried that I would not, that I would mess this up. I would do something silly or goofy, because I'm known to do that, which I have with this machine. Right, not too long after I got it, I wound the I had my thread hanging from my thread spool, and I wasn't paying attention. It was hanging too low, and it got caught up in the belt at the motor. And it was a whole, it was actually my Saya pink that I got when I got her, when I got the her little Cupid box. So it was a half roll of her pink, of the pink, and I lost almost the half of that roll. I'm telling you what. And it was, I sat there and I had to cut thread off of that motor, cut and cut, and I was so upset. I'm thinking, my gosh, I've ruined this thing already. And I was able to get it cleaned off, cut. My son actually had to take the belt off, clean around that area, and make sure in the motor, it didn't get in the motor. I mean, it was crazy. I just, and that's why I bought, I went through Juki Junkies, and I didn't have to call them on that, but I went through Juki Junkies and to make sure I had that in case I did something goofy. That goofiness I was able to fix without having to call them. But the first problem I had was the all the machine. So this is a 1541S. The machine, the S is supposed to be for a safety in case you knock it, so it doesn't get knocked out of timing. Again, I'm not near as bad as my mom. My mom can take a machine and it would work reverse if my mom gets around a machine. I can't explain it. My mom is a very intelligent woman. She's much more, I'm not putting myself down, but she's more intelligent than I am. She has a very high IQ. And she gets around electronics, and I'm gonna tell you what, they run from her. Electronics run from her. And I'm not quite that bad, but I still have to protect myself. So that's why I did Juki Junkies, to make sure. But yes, anyways, where I was getting at, I knocked this thing got knocked out of timing before I had a chance to sew on it. Come to find out, the bobbin, not the bobbin box, but the, I forgot what it's called, but the thing that does the little twirly thing, I know, I can't think of what it's called, that got knocked. It was not, the screw was not tightened on this machine. So when it, the thread, I ran out of room when I was test sewing, just playing with a piece of, doing something like this. Like I was just playing with it, just to test, play with it after I bought it. And I ran off of it and I wasn't paying attention. Plus you got this machine that it just zooms. So it went, a few cycles of the thread, nothing under it, which it shouldn't mess it up, but it knocked it out of timing. Had to call a service guy to come out and get this, to service this machine when I only had it a week, a little over a week. Well, by the time he came out, I had a little over a week. But Juki Junkies worked with me. We did everything we could. They were very nice to me and helped me with my, I'm not going to lie, they helped me with my service fee. And then I guess he did a video after that about how to fix it on your own. So apparently I wasn't the only one that was having issues. All right. Guys, I'm talking so much. We're not even, I got to stop talking. So you've got your little top band on. So you're going to cut away this back piece here, and you're going to leave, she gives you the measurements that you're going to need to leave behind. So just go ahead and just trim it down to what she tells you to. Trim this piece off. You always feel like it's being wasteful, especially the cost of everything. But you don't want that extra bulk. You've got all these layers. And my little, so you got that little piece there. My band goes over just a hair. So I'm going to clean that up. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to use my rotary cutter to clean that up, because I do not want, I want that a little bit straighter, and I don't want to cut it crooked with scissors. So I'm just going to get this out, get this little guy out and cut it straight. So it's not, so it's straighter. I'm going to have to put my, this rotary cutter does not fit my, I'm sorry guys, I'm going to use this rotary cutter. I'm going to have to. This rotary cutter, it's such a tiny little rotary cutter. Actually, I bought this for my, when I did a lot of, oh my goodness gracious. I need to get my 45. Ugh. I just used it a little bit ago to cut. I was going to have to get the big guy out. Right here in front of me. Sorry guys. This little guy, he's so cute. And I got him when I did my little paper piecing stuff. And I use it sometimes when I'm sewing over here, but there we go. It's so thin that it doesn't fit that ruler. All right. So all I'm doing is cleaning up this edge just to make sure it's straight with the bag. And I'm going to remark my piping starting, because the piping is going to be sewn to the front of the bag versus gussets. Whereas in that Serafina, you sewed it to the gusset. So let me put my marks back on real quick. This is for my piping. Oh, I don't know if we get done. Okay. I think yeah, I can see that. All right, so I put my piping marks back. This front panel is looking good. So now we're going to get our accent pieces out. Looking good. That. And I need my little accent pieces. So these are your accent pieces. She also has you do these where you turn them in, so you've got a finished edge versus a raw edge. Now, of course, if you want a raw edge, you could cut it at this line here, because this is the line where you do the fold. So if you do not want to do that and you want to do a raw edge, then you would just cut it there instead. But I am doing the finished edge, so basically you're just going to do little snips. Make sure they're like little V snips like that, because when you fold this over, it'll punch up, and then you'll have like pieces of material sticking out, and you don't want that. I just kind of did snips, and then when I folded it in, I just trimmed off what was left over. I've got one that will do together when I get to the back. All right, and then I just put a piece of double-sided tape in the center of the back to hold it. And then you take these and you're going to place them on here. Now, you're going to put it like this, and you just want to place it, lay it down, and just match it up to the corner like that. Lay it down like that, and then grab another one. Put them on both sides. Let me put these other two pieces back so we don't lose them, because I'm being really klutzy tonight. Put this down. Make sure, I don't know if it is a huge difference. I mean, you cut them mirrored, but I don't think there is really a difference in the way they lay on here. I'm not seeing one as, so it does, so, but anyway. So we're gonna put those on, and you're gonna top stitch. Oh, my bitch, move my bench. So let's go ahead and top stitch this. Yes, I'm still on the top stitch. Now in her patterns, there are a few steps that she doesn't actually put in the patterns, but she has like links in her patterns to go to, like strap handles. She's got one where the hidden connectors where you link, she's got a link to that. So there's one. Let's get that on. So you've got, she kind of keeps it, tries to keep her patterns kind of clean, I guess you could call it, without having all that extra in there, because her patterns are long. But she has a lot of, she does a lot of piping, all these accent pieces. I mean, that's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of pieces to this, so. I'm still looking. I'm sorry, and I have 11. I know you can see how many's here, but it's kind of exciting to see that we have 11 people on here for my first live, and I'm not as not popular. I mean, I don't want to say I'm not popular, but I'm not well known. Let's use the word. I'm not well known. Okay, so she doesn't have you cut out the bulk, but I'm going to go ahead and let's see. Sew the repeat, hold off. Okay, now at this point, this is when you're going to put the stabilizer on the back of this piece here. But what I'm going to do is when I get the back panel done, I'll stabilize them both at the same time. That way I'm not running, I'm already getting up and back and forth too much as it is. So I'll attach the stabilizer when I get done with the back panel. So let's see, maybe I have to. I'm looking at the pattern. I just lied to you guys. I'm going to have to do this piece now because the next pieces that we do, it's going to cause, it's going to raise and I won't be able to adhere that to the back. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to lie to you like that. So I'm going to place the stabilizer on. Let me see here. I need to trim this down a little bit here at the top. I see that it's interfering with my drop down line here. So let me do a quick trim here. I'm going to run over to the machine. It doesn't take but seconds to attach the stabilizer. Make sure when you put it on, now this stabilizer seems like it fills up. It's not out of my seam allowances. That's interesting. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to trim a little bit off to keep it out of my seam allowances. While the machine can handle it, I'm not worried about the machine itself. I don't want that, you know, bulkiness look in my seams. So let's trim this down just a smidgen. I hate wasting this stuff. This stuff's hard to get. Again, I got this from Barbara Edwards and Got Interfacing. She, it's her brand, and it's actually not bad because Decafil Light, you can't get it. I did get a notification from Wawak if anybody's in need of it. I did get a thing telling me that they have it back in stock now. Let's see. Carly, I saw your hi Carly. So I'm assuming Chick-fil-A drive-through. Was it probably the one on Houston? Because I most recently went to Houston, Chick-fil-A on Houston Road. Because I go to Mall Road mostly, but I was at Houston Road. I'll go over there when I go to Meijer to the grocery store. I like to get a biscuit. Oh, the other night I think I came home from somewhere and I stopped at Chick-fil-A. That's what it was. Okay, I'm gonna run real quick, get this done, and thank you, Carly, for letting me know that it's where you found me. I put that on. I had my daughter cut this vinyl. I'm going to talk a little bit while I'm doing this. So, but that vinyl that's on the back of my car, my daughter made that for me when I went on vacation last year. So when I drove cross country to Utah and back, I had that on the back of my car. I said I wanted to put something like that on there so people would see, and maybe I'd get subscribers. And I did get some subscribers through it. And then when I drive around town here, I don't get out much. Again, I work from home. Sorry, I had to count because my timer doesn't. But I work from home, so I don't get out like I used to. But when I drive around town or head up to mom's and stuff, I have my little thing on there. My neighbors, I was talking to my neighbors one day, and she's like, yeah, we checked out your YouTube channel. Well, I appreciate that. Okay, so there we go. My interfacing's on the back. There, on that. I cut it out of my seam allowance. It's a little close to the top, but that's okay. As long as I didn't go over the line on the interfacing. So I trimmed it down a little bit because it seemed like it was too big for the piece. All right, now we are going to work on the, let's see, make the bottom connector. So we're on page 23. It says make the bottom connector. Okay, so option A we're not doing. Strap loops for option A and B, and flap strap. Okay. Sorry, I got to read out loud. Okay, so flap strap and strap loops. Okay, so here's the strap loops. These are the tiniest little things that you have. They're well, what do I want to say? When you sew them, typically it's 1/8 of an inch, but you want to go try somehow in case your machine can't. Oh, thank you, Carly. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching and subscribing. I appreciate it. Anyways, so it's not quite 1/8 of an inch. It's kind of like closer to a 1/16. So you just got to be real quick, depending on your machine and how well it handles feeding through. Because I know if you go too thin in, it's not going to grab your feed dogs and it won't feed through well. Okay, but you make this in one piece and then you cut it. Depending on what option you use, you cut these different lengths. But for B, you cut them the same length. You just cut it in half. Okay, so what you're going to do on these, you're going to take these, let's see. Did all the top stitching. So I'm skipping over a couple steps since I already did them. So what you're going to do, and this is where I messed up on my Serafina. I sewed these together like this with its right side out. You don't want to do that. You want to take it and see the wrong side, and you can tell the wrong side because whoops. The wrong side is the where the seams are put together, and you're just basically marking your centers, folding them into the center, and that's it. And that's when you top stitch. But you want your seams, you're going to take it and you're going to fold it right sides together like that. And then you're going to stitch these together at the seam allowance that she gives you. Let's see. That's option A. Let me go look at option B to make sure I'm sewing these at the right seam. Take the longer strap. Okay, we don't want that. Okay. Oh, that seems like a big seam allowance for such a small little piece, but we're going to do it. So we're going to sew these pieces. I'm going to probably have to start a little to the middle because it's very thick. Here we go. And I'm going to back stitch actually, and I'm going to put my other piece in together, kind of like chain piecing. It's just, they're small, so they are kind of hard to hold, but okay, there we got it. So you're going to sew those like that. Again, they are wrong side. You're going to sew them wrong side out, right sides together. And then you're going to trim down your seam allowances after you sew them together. Sew them at that seam. She has you trim the seams down. I have got a huge mess to clean up in this floor. I have a bad habit. All right, so there's your little pieces like that. And then you're going to turn them right side out after you sewn them. Woo, this is hard. How often do I go live? This is my first real live one. I did a live when I did when I was in Milford. at the Frontiers Day when it was raining. I did my first live there. But as far as sewing, this is my first one. So we'll see how well this goes. And before, you know, decide to do another live. But as long as I get positive feedback, I will do another live. I like doing lives. I love watching lives. I watched, my brain went dead. Leslie from Jolie Lee Creations, I sat and watched her all afternoon today. She was on for like 3 or 4 hours sewing a little backpack, and I sat and watched her. I love watching lives. So there's that. And there's the other. Let me get the other. Let me clean these little threads up. I got a bunch of little threads. Oh, okay. Thank you. Whoops. I appreciate that, Carly. It's one of these things where I never did. I mean, I did it on and off. Took it back in the day when we had home ec. I took it in home ec. Couldn't sew a straight line. And would hand sew with my mother-in-law. When I first got married, I would sew stuff. She always loved doing she always hand sewed a bunch of stuff my mother-in-law did. And 12 years ago, I decided to make my parents a quilt for their 50th anniversary. Don't ask me why, because I never made one before in my life, but it just popped in my head, and I made one. Oh, I can't turn this thing. This is tough. I'm getting there, guys. Got it. So you just be careful. I mean, it's not easy, but again, I'm using a real thick vinyl, so I might be having a little more difficulties than others. Okay, so there you go. So I got 2 little loop-de-loos. Okay, let me change pages. So, and then and I've always made bags here and there of my own. I used to try to design my own bags. And I didn't have enough knowledge in bag making, like techniques. I would just come up with my own, and I'd get, put it aside because I was always making quilts and whatnot. I did a lot of buy any bags. But other than that, and then I just started a couple years ago, I started making bags. Seriously, like real bag, no, I should say real bags, like vinyl bags, things of that nature. I started watching Kasaya from Saya Swag, and seriously got Jess from Okla Roots, several other people, and seriously got into bag making with vinyl and stuff. So yeah, that's my whatever history. Okay, so after we get the little loops made, we are going to work on the flap strap. Now, I started the flap strap. Basically, what you got to do, let me go ahead, let me get all my clips. I put all these clips on here to hold it. So, basically, you're going to take, it's a big piece. You're going to take it, mark your centers, fold everything into the center like that. And then there's a mark that she gives you on one end. So, you're going to go in. I just used a ruler instead of making a mark. But you're going to fold up to the line or the measurement that she gives you. So you will have a little bit of a hangover, but you're going to fold and put these together like that. I got my marks of my little clippies in here, which these will come out. So you're going to put that together like that. And then you are going to top stitch this. Let's see. Top stitch is indicated by the dashed lines. So, okay, so you're going to top stitch this piece, but what you're going to do is you're just going to you're not going to top stitch that end. You're only going to top stitch the sides, I should say, the long sides. Okay, so let me get that. Let's see. Option A, we're not, okay, so, and you just kind of got to watch and go through it. Let's see, now this I've got here, this is the flap strip. Okay, so option B, that's when we do the strip, magnetic strip. I'm reading, sorry guys. So let me get my clips out of the way and get these put out of the way. What time is it? Oh my gosh, it's all 9:30. We're just barely done with the first panel. I'm talking way too much. Okay. So we're going to take this and we're going to top stitch this. So let's do that. We'll probably go to 10:30. I don't really want to go past 10:30 because I think people might get tired of listening to me talk. I mean, I'm holding with 10 people watching. Well, so we'll see. All right, I am going to start up here. Just got to be careful because of that one piece, that little extra piece there. All right. All right, just kind of hold it so it doesn't, to keep your stitching as straight as you possibly can. I don't know why she doesn't have you, that's option A, B. Then we go onto the back panel. Okay. Top stitch. I'm going to just do it the way she's got it. I am going to, yeah, I can back stitch because the variegated thread, you won't notice it that much with the top stitching. I'm going to have to clean my threads up. All right. I'll show you here in 2 seconds what we got. This piece is coming undone. There we go. I love this. I absolutely love this vinyl. It is so pretty. I could make a bag. I could make like a bag with this thing. People would probably think I'm crazy carrying around a emerald blue, not emerald. I can't talk. Sapphire. Why did I call it emerald? Anyways, a sapphire blue bag. People would think I went out of my mind. It's because that's not me. I just love the color. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I love, if anybody watches Jeannie's Designs, Barbie with Jeannie's Designs, I love watching her. I love her expressions. She's so funny. I was watching her little one bag. I can't think of the name of the bag. It's like a little pouch. And she was smelling the leather. That was so funny. There you go. So that's top stitch. It's not done at the bottom because it's not showing in the picture that it should be top stitched at the end. So it's just top stitching the long edges. All right, guys. Okay, so we're going to skip page 25 because that's for option A. So, go on page 26. You want to go, since I'm doing option B, I'm going to install the snap now on option B. So, when we had my little piece here for my magnetic snap, I'm going to place my piece down here, and I'm going to sit, again, like I was talking about earlier, and I probably went totally off whatever. I have the other end, so I cross that out so I know that this is the top of the piece that I'm going to measure from the top. And mark where my snap should be. So let me get that placed here. I didn't mark my piece before I set it on there, which is wrong. But I'm going to go ahead and do it right now. But I need something dark because, or actually I need to use my, that was my good scissors. I was going to find my little white chalk pencil, but of course that's not here. And let me try this little thing. I don't like these very much, but I'm going to try this. I don't think these show up very well. Let's see. Oh, let me get a ballpoint pen here. I can see a little bit where the indentation is. So let me, there we go. Yeah, because this vinyl's so dark, it's hard to see, but I think I'm good with marking it there where I can see enough to mark where my snap is. So let me get my snap. I can only hope that I remember to put a snap in all my goodie bag. And you guys, I didn't even show you my goodie bag in my Saya Swag bag. I got zippers in this bag. I love this bag. Let me find my zipper. A lot of my hardware that I'm using, or my snap, here it is. A lot of my hardware that I'm using, these are my strap connectors, Saya Swag. This zipper. Look at this zipper pull. I love these big, like big earrings from the 70s. Zipper pull. This is for the main bag, but anyways. Let me put all of this back in here. All. And don't forget, I need to pull this out. Your name, my Heartwood hide tags. I'm so excited because I've only got them on like three bags that I've made. My inside, I had little I had been using these tags here that I had made. I have off of Etsy, Ever something. That's what I had been using until I got these, because it was like a 2-month waiting just for him to reach out to me. So it's like a 2-month waiting list, but I'm gonna put this on the back of the bag. All right, so where my snap is, I've made the mark. I think I just put my snaps back in here. I'm such a goofball. Guys, I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. I don't know about me sometimes. All right. I hope you guys are still hanging with me. I appreciate it. I really do. I mean, obviously, if you need to go, go. Or if I am driving you crazy, I get it. All right. So this gets the female snap. All right. I'm going to put this on the magnet so I don't lose that other little piece. So I'm going to separate this and put this, that goes the female snap. I'm going to put that up there. And I'm going to mark my piece where I need to cut the slits. I need light, so I'm going to scoot this over so I can see better. So just be patient with me while I mark this. Okay. I think, yeah, that's, I can see that good enough. I use the back of this mat here. This is an awesome little mat. I actually got this mat for free years ago. Missouri Star Quilt. I ordered a bunch of fabric to make a quilt, and at the time she was giving away free stuff for a certain amount of order amount, and I ordered a certain amount of fabric and I got this mat for free. And this has been an awesome little sewing station mat where I can just grab it and cut something while I'm at this mat. I'm just trying to get through my layers here, and I'm just trying to be careful where I don't overcut my slit. And there's a lot of layers to go through. So this snap ain't gonna go anywhere once you get it on, but there's a lot of layers. Okay, we're almost through here. Sorry. Why do I keep popping? All right. Guys, we have made it. And again, this is a lot of layers. We got what, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's counting the stabilizer. 4 layers that I'm going through. So you definitely don't need to back it. There we go. I just cut the slits just enough to get this through. And then if it's not wide enough, then I will push it through. I'd rather do that than have the slits too big. I think, yeah, I can see where it's at. I just need to break through the rest of this stabilizer. There we go. Just push it through. Sometimes if I start pushing it through, I can sometimes just take this and help it. Ooh wee, there's a lot. It does not want to come through. I can see it. I'm trying to keep an eye out for in case anybody wants to comment. I'm gonna have to push it through, push it down. I can't get this. I don't have the slits. I don't think I've made the slits too big. Normally I can just push it right down through. But I think this is so thick that it doesn't want, it wants to be difficult. And plus I'm doing a live, so you know. This is ridiculous. I cannot get this through. Oh, my goodness gracious. This is just a snap, Toni. I can't let it beat me. Oh, got it, got it. Woohoo! We got it. All right, so obviously we don't need any extra backing on here because there's so many layers. I just put them in, push them in, set together like that. Boom. All right, and I'll get my tape. Now I had my duct tape out earlier. There we go. I have this awesome Gorilla duct tape. I'm gonna tell you what, that's some stinking strong stuff that I have a hard time even getting it off the thing, but my fingers, I can't grab a hold of it to pull. Fingers are already crooked enough, so I'm just gonna cut that little sliver off. Cover that up. Of course, you wanna cover your prongs so it doesn't rub against your lining. Boom. There you go. And there's my snap on the front. This is, again, this is option B. So depending on what option you use, you just got to pay close attention to your pattern when you do the pieces. Okay, front panel done. I'm gonna set that aside out of my way. That little piece here that we did and we top stitched, I am just going to set it aside. I'm going to keep my piece with it. And I'm going to set this aside because this actually will get attached to the back panel. But you've got to, of course, create the back panel first. But it's ready to go. All right. I'm trying to keep pattern pieces out of the way too as I go. All right. My little loops, I know I am going to lose these loops if I don't do something with them. So I'm going to put these guys, I'm going to put clips on them to hold them together. Hopefully, I'm going to put them in my little bucket. Hopefully, I don't lose them in the bucket. Okay, back panel. We're going to grab the rest of our little accent pieces, lower accent pieces. We are going to grab the bottom. The bottom here somewhere. The bottom. Where are you? I see it. Whoop, it's at the bottom was at the bottom. Sorry guys. Okay, lower accent pieces. I'm going to grab the, oops, I need to keep that together. I'm gonna lose that because that's next. Back panel bottom piece. Okay, that's the piece you want here. I'm gonna set that aside. And then take your accents and then you're just going to sew your accents to the corners here. Oops, don't drop them. To this. Now, as I was saying, I'm just going to show you real quick how this is done. So, you draw your line according to the pattern, according to this little piece. And what I usually do, this is how I usually do this, is I just lay it to the side like this, do a little tick mark, and this on the other side do a tick mark, and then I take this piece and then I trace the curve. And that's how I do my pieces like that. When she has you do that little upturn thing, that's how I get that shape. Otherwise, I would not be able to create that shape or make it the right measurements. So, and then you put your double-sided tape on the line Do not go over the line. Do it right below the line. I kind of kept it right on the line. Also, do not put it here because you're going to put snips in this and that will mess up your double-sided tape. So put it up here at the top at the line instead of at the bottom, because that's what I did. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. And I had to take it off because I just was cutting into that. And it just, you know, it's better just to keep it up at the top. So then what you're going to do, this is what I did. I put some snips in it. Now you either can do it, you can do it two ways actually. You can either go in and put little triangle snips like that in it, or this is what I do. I just go in about 1/8 of an inch every, 3/8 to 1/2 inch, put in a snip. Again, it's only 1/8 of an inch up. Don't go too far in. And I just go around and see how I've got, you can see it on this side better. Little snips like that instead of doing that. You can do that. That's up to you. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to try to do this so you can see me on camera. Okay. And I'm just going to, I start kind of sort of from the center and work out. I just take it up to the line, take the other piece and cross it over. I'll go towards the center, cross it over, and take the other piece. Oh, hold that. Let me give it, make sure it fixes. There you go. And cross it over. And I just let it cross over. And then I'll go back in and snip those little pieces off. Go back up. Oops, sorry, off camera. Sorry about that. Go back up. Try to do the on the line here. I'm trying to do it watching the camera. Up to the line, and then I go to the back to the other side, and then I'll do the same thing, but I go towards the center, not outwards. I go towards the center. That's how I do it again. And then just, well, let me get that. Push that up. Just keep going along like that. Hope you can see. Oh, I'm off the camera again, like that. And then see how it's all like that. And now you've got all that little bumps. And then I just go in and I just clean off those little pieces there. And that's how I make my V's. And then just go in, just do that little snip to where it cleans up that edge like that. That way I make my little V's where needed rather than put them in there and then it's just be in a spot that I didn't fold it or something. I don't know. That's just how I do it. So there's all that little pieces there. See how I got that to make it flat? I'm going to take my little roller and I'm going to roll it. That number one, it helps fix it and it flattens it out a little better. It makes it look a little better. There you go. All right. I already got my double side tape on, so I'm going to top stitch this real quick. Trying to keep an eye on comments. Again, you're going to put the folded edge at the top and then the raw edge at the bottom corner. Let's see if this goes, which way it goes, if there's a difference. There we go. All right. Let's see. There we go. Now we're going to top stitch. Get this out of the way before I cut myself. Cut myself. This is how goofy I am. I cut myself with a safety box cutter. Don't know how. I think what happened was because it's one of those goofy box cutters that retracts back in when you're not using it or holding on to the thing. And I was cutting a box and somehow the box cutter remained open as I was taking it off the box when I was cutting it, and I went right into my thumb. I've cut myself a lot of times on goofy stuff. When I was, I think I was still 18 or 19. I used to work at, was a convenience store, and we had, it was United Dairy Farmers, and we had to cut down our ice cream, tops of our ice creams off. I worked third shift and we had to cut off the top of our ice creams. And tell on myself here. To cut, anyways, I was cutting off the tops of my ice cream, and this was the old-fashioned cutters, box cutters, where it's just a razor blade inside of a piece of metal. It was not even like the handled ones. Anyway, so I was cutting that off, and there was a guy that used to come in, and well, he came in, and he actually came in to flirt with me because he was, again, I was 18 years old, and he'd come in and tell me stupid jokes, and I was laughing on the stupid joke he told me. And when I came back up, I folded my head down. I just got done cutting down a box of ice cream, and came down with my head. And when I came back up, somehow I hit my wrist with the box cutter. Don't know how. Hit the wrist with my box cutter. I'm right-handed, but I happened to have the box cutter in my left hand. I was holding it. When I came back up, I had accidentally cut my wrist with this box cutter. Try to explain to the ER, or I went to an urgent care because I had to have stitches because it was deep. Tried to explain to the urgent care doctor who had to stitch me up that I was not trying to slit my wrists. That was fun, especially at 18 years old. This was in 1980. What year was it? 1983. And yeah, that was fun trying to explain that. So anyways, but yeah, it was off to the side. I wasn't even nowhere near a vein, but it was off this right here. So I still have the scar, but yeah, it's I told you I do. It's just sometimes I just do goofy stuff. I don't know why. Scatterbrained. I don't know. I don't like that word, but okay. She gives you on the piece here, she gives you a placement of a label where she does it off to the side. I'm going to do mine in the center, in the back, in the center. I prefer the center better than off to the side. I've done that before, off to the side before, and I don't know. Too OCD, I think, to put it off to the side because I didn't care for it when I did it, but I had to leave it because obviously it was there. So I'm going to get my little name tag. I'm going to put a little bit of double-sided tape in the center. I got my center marked. I am going to use her measurement though for the logo. So let me measure to see how far up. Let me find a ruler. There we go. I'm going to measure. See how far up she's got you putting that label. 3. Let's see. Let me see if I like where that sits. I might do it differently. I feel like it's kind of high up, but maybe not. Let me see. That's okay. All right. So let me find my center. I just fold it and center it. Lay my roller down. I appreciate the people that are still on here. I really appreciate it. Quite honestly, I mean, I'm not just trying to sound boohoo. I didn't know if I was gonna have anybody, honestly. Don't know why I didn't think that. I mean, like I said, I'm just not as, I don't know, like that. That's too high up. I think it's too high up. I mean, I know you've got a seam allowance, but she doesn't have a wide seam. Her seam allowances are very narrow, and I feel like that's too high up because then you got your pocket. I'm taking it down. I don't like that. I feel like I should take it just a smidgen lower. I'm thinking I'm going more than a smidgen. Let's go. I'm going 2 1/4 inches up is what I'm doing. I think that will look better. I don't like to go so high up. So 2 1/4. Let me find my center again. Okay, there's my center. Make sure it's even at the other side. Let me stay. There we go. I like that better. It's a little lower. Again, we got our seam allowance, so it'll set just a tad lower. but I think that'll work. All right, I love my little tags. They're cork. I did the cork. I didn't do the faux leather cork yet. I just did, because this is my first order. So I just did cork. Just kind of see if I like them. And I do like the cork a lot, honestly. I don't have any metal tags. I never got to do the metal tags. And I just, because you've got to order so many at once. Heartwood and hide. You get to order, if you order, I think it's lots of 25. And if you order so many, you get a, you get discount. The more you order, of course, you get a discount, a higher discount. So I think I ordered 75, because that's where it starts discounting, at 75. And I got 25. I got 25 laser ones. I got 25 of those. And then I got 50 color printed ones, but I got 25 of the white and then 25 of this kind. Yeah, that my 75. And that's say it was a little bit of a discount doing 75. I may do a faux leather on my next order, but again, I was just trying to try it out, and I didn't want to spend a ton of money on this yet. So anyways, I pull my threads through and tie them off for this, my name tag, so I don't see any back stitching or anything. So I'm gonna cut these threads long and tie that off. I've already pulled it through one of my threads, so tie this off real quick. Now I'm a bit of I don't know, strange bird when I don't go to sleep. My screen's trying to go to sleep. I put glue. When I tie off my threads, I usually stick a dab of glue on there. Even though this is a nameplate, I still do it, or name tag. I still throw a little bit of glue on there, and then I'll throw a piece of double-sided, just a small piece of double-sided tape. Name tags, I know, don't typically, when you sew them on, don't fall off, but I'm a dweeb. I just like that security. So there you go. Boom. With my little ding, dink. Okay. Now, after you do this and you put your name tag on, she has you go ahead and add the back band to the top of the piece before we add the lining or the zipper pocket to the back piece. So we're going to go ahead and add this. Let's get these. I'm gonna hold these and set these off to the side here. I'm not going to put them in my to done pile, so because I'm going to need measurements off of these. So here we go. This is what we did. Again, the lines. This is the fold over line for the drop in. This is the line that we're going to fold this up to. Put your double-sided tape on the line. Do snips. Now since this is I'm going to do snips in the curve. Ooh, I went a little too much high on that snip. In the curve, I don't do the snips when I get to the little straightaway there. I just do it in the curves. And since this is an inward curve and not an outward curve, you don't need to do V's until you get around this little edge here. When you get to that curve, you will need to like snip away some of it, like the V's. From the little accent pieces. So let's go ahead, throw this, get this, and this really don't take long. I usually, I always start from the middle and work my way outward. So we're just going to go in and fold up to that line. Like I say, only time, and if it gets a little, I just do a little snip if I need to. And that way it's, got too many snips in there, because sometimes I can get carried away on snips. And like when I do gussets, sometimes I get a little carried away on snips. And it's not necessary on sometimes. All right, so we're going to do this. Let's get that other side. Probably should have had this already prepped. But I just kind of wanted to show you what I did on the other piece just in case. And then just keep folding. And then if you got to fold it over, when you get to that other curve there, you'll just have to snip away a little bit of the piece. That's coming apart. Just snip it away where it overlaps, just so you've got that, so it's flat. That's okay there. This piece wants to unstick. Yeah, that one's a little deep. Hold on, let me fold that up a little bit. That little snip, I got one of my snips a little deep. So be careful when you do your snips. All right, let me roll just to kind of fix that down a little bit. I'm not going to put any double-sided tape on this piece to hold it in place. I think it was sufficient when I did the clips at the top. All right, mark my center. Mark my center. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. And then mark my center on this piece. Didn't have my centers marked. Boom. All right. And then go ahead and clip it. I hope you can see this. I really do. I think you can. I guess if you didn't, you would have told me by now, right? All right. Remember, we're only going to top stitch at the bottom, not at the top, because you're going to cut away that bulk. And it's top stitching, of course. Again, it's 1/8 of an inch. Oh, I need to fix this. I got that piece is driving me crazy. I need, there's my, it wants to, I cut up that, again, I cut that snip too far out, and it's showing up. Now this is the back of my bag, but still, I just need to fold that up just a little more to hide that. That's better. All right, sorry. Why is my machine all of a sudden making noises? Oh, my screwdriver was in the way. I have my hardware screwdriver sitting on the magnet so I can get it remagnetized. All right. And then again, you're going to cut away the bulk from the back of this. She tells you, of course, she gives you a seam allowance to cut it down to. I just kind of eyeballed a little bit. Boom, boom. Then I'm gonna cut off these little dog ears there off to the side where it folded out. Clean up my threads. There we go. This one didn't hang over like the other one, so I don't know. I think it was my seam allowances. But see, there's the top piece of the back panel. Then you got your bottom piece of your back panel there. Now you're going to apply some double-sided tape to the bottom of your top piece and the top of your bottom piece. So let me get my, I'm going to use 1/8 of an inch because we're going to do our zipper, and I'm going to do 1/8 of an inch double-sided tape so it doesn't interfere with my zipper. So let's get this taped up. We're getting there. It's what, 10 o'clock? I'm going to go till 10:30. I mean, you may not want to, You don't have to, obviously, but I'm going to go till 10:30 because I really want to get these panels done. And then as far as finishing this bag, let me think. I'll have to think about when we can finish it. I know in the morning before I go to Mom's, I have to go to the grocery store in the morning. So let me think about maybe in the morning before I head out. I feel like I'll be rushed though. That's the only problem, is I'll feel rushed to get this done. So let me think about it. I know I can't do it maybe, let me think Sunday. I might be able to do Sunday afternoon to finish this. I do go to church Sunday morning and Sunday evening. So it'd be and my church is like 40 minutes away. So it would probably be when I get home, and then before I have, obviously, hopefully we can get it done quicker. I might do it Sunday. I might do it. As long as nobody minds that's going to be down here in the basement with me when I record. I just have to be aware of other people in the house, obviously. Okay, so we got the double-sided tape applied. And then also we're going to and then remove the backing from all of the tape except the one on the bottom edge of the back zipper panel. Apply double-sided tape to the top edge, done. To both the bottom, bottom, to both the top and bottom edges of the back zipper pocket. Pocket. Boom. Back zipper pocket. Also apply tape to the bottom edge of the, okay. Wow. So we're going to apply zipper tape to the top here. Not zipper tape. Jeez. Double-sided tape to the top piece of this piece here. And then, let's get it to the right, the long way. So this is the one the zipper pocket for the back of the bag is. You got to make it the long way here. You're going to put double-sided tape here on this end, and then double-sided tape on this end. Make sure you've got your piece the long way. Let me measure. Make sure I have the right. This is actually square. I just realized this. I'm silly. I'm looking at the measurement and I'm thinking, well, let me look and see which side's the longest. It's a square piece, so it doesn't matter which side, as long as you put it on opposite ends. Good gravy. It's late, guys. It's 10 o'clock. I'm usually, I lied. I'm usually just going to bed at 10 o'clock at night. I usually try to sew until like 9:30-ish. Clean up my kitchen and then go to bed. Honestly, that's what I do. That is my evening. Because I'll come down here and sew after dinner. And that's my time. Okay, double-sided tape. Double-sided tape on this each end. Double-sided tape at the top of my bottom piece and at the bottom of my top piece. And then we are going to go to, and then I'm going to take the zipper tape. I'm going to get my zipper piece. I have 3 zippers. So let me make sure I get the right one. I think this is the one that's got, this has the both. She gives you the measurements. I cut them long, and these are longer than what's asked for, and I just cut them both the same size. I like usually to sew with longer zippers. Now, this one I will have to cut down to the correct size because this is in my mind, I'm going to call it a fixed zipper only because it's got closed ends. And I need my zipper pulled. So I got this cute little circle, tiny. I got this cute little zipper pull. Oh my gosh, my bag. I have to dump all my stuff to get my zipper pull. There it is. I have this cutest little circle zipper pull. I'm going to put this on the exterior of my bag to match my ginormous zipper pull. Boom, boom, boom. Again, I went all out on the hardware on this bag. This is, why do I have silver in here? I have to fix that. Anyway, I got my zipper pull. I went all out on this. Sometimes I will go crazy on hardware on a bag. I know it increases it, but sometimes you just got to do it. Sometimes. Okay. So I'm going to measure this to make sure this is the right length, because again, this is a zipper that's going to have closed ends. I had to cut that straight so I can measure it correctly. So let me make a mark here real quick so I can trim this little bit down. I overcut it when I just cut them off. So there's my end there. I have these are my zipper cutting scissors. So I'm going to cut this to make sure this is the right length. All right. Of course, when you cut a zipper tape, you always want to fray the edges. I think what we'll do is we'll finish up this back piece, and what's next after this? What's next? What's next? I think, honestly, we're going to get the back panel done, and I think that's where we'll end it at. By the time we get this pocket on, sew them all together, do all the funny, fancy top stitching. If it won't be 10:30 or after, then it will be awful darn close. I will let you know. I'll just do a post to let you know when I do my second part 2 of this. I can't figure out, if I do a scheduling, I can't figure out how to go in there and use that to do the live from that piece on my phone. If I schedule it through my laptop, I don't know. But anyway. All right. Get your zipper tabs. Okay. So grab your zipper tabs, and you're going to take them right sides together to your zipper. I'm going to do a clip. You're not going to need, you don't do a backing of this, because you're not going to see this part of it, the back part of it. So you're not going to do like, sometimes you do the lining and this part. You only need this part. You don't need a lining piece. So we're going to sew this on. And, okay, sorry, I had to get my seam allowance for this. So sew this on here. Let me decrease. There we go. All right, and then you're going to flip it. I don't want to use these scissors. That's my zipper scissors. So you got that piece like that, and then you're going to flip it and then top stitch that. Oh my gosh. I almost forgot to put my zipper pull, but that's okay. This will be one side. I almost forgot to put my zipper, and I'm telling you, you don't know how many times I have forgotten to put a zipper pull on. All right, so that's done there. So this is going to go this side because I need to put my zipper pull on. I like my zipper to unzip from left to right. So let me get my zipper pull on real quick. I need to singe my edges here. Do. I still have a couple guys. Yay. Oops. I don't have problems putting zipper pulls on. I don't know why I am. Nope. Because once we get this pocket on, then we're going to be putting a stabilizer on. So, My zipper tape, I forgot to singe it. It is fraying and it is causing difficulties for me to put the zipper pull on. There we go. There's a tooth in the way. This tooth is hitting my zipper pull. I never have problems putting zipper pull. I shouldn't say never. I very, very rarely have problems putting a zipper pull on. When I first started doing tape, zipper by the tape, whatever, zipper tape by the yard, I'll tell you what, I could not for the life of me figure out how to put a zipper pull on. I watched a video, YouTube video by Jess from Sally Tomato, and never had a problem since then. I've never had to use a zipper jig. I almost started to try to do one, but I somehow figured it out. Like I say, I watched the video, messed with it a few times, and I figured it out. So, but I know a lot of people use their zipper jigs, and I watched them, and it's quick. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's quick to do a zipper jig, but nope, got a few. Oh, I see. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate it. And stay online for 20 more minutes, and I'll crash your. Well, Cassie, I've told you I'm clocking out at 10:30. So my daughter wants to crash my video with her new dog, the scaredy puppy. We'll call her Scaredy Cat. Her other dog, she wasn't afraid of anything. She come at you head on. She didn't care, man. I mean, she wasn't afraid of nothing. Even when she was a baby, a little pup, she wasn't afraid of anything. But anyway, okay. Now, all right, so this is all, my zipper is ready to go. I've got it where my zipper is going to open. I'm going to put it down where my zipper opens. Again, a zips from the right to the left. All right, so now I'm going to take my zipper. I'm going to put this piece aside. I'm going to grab my bottom back panel, take my zipper. I'm going to put it right sides together. Again, making sure my zipper pulls where I want it, which again, I want it to unzip from right to left. Or shoot, left to right. I don't even know my right to left. Get my zipper, remove the backing from my zipper double-sided tape. That's at the top of the panel. Take that off. Right sides together. Keep your zipper pull out of the way. Mark my centers. I should have marked my centers before I did this. Don't do it that way, Toni. Your tape will, I need to mark my centers real fast. That's a mistake. Don't know why I forgot. I marked it at the bottom. I forgot to mark it at the top. All right. Now my zipper tape, I'm going to measure my center of my zipper tape from here, not from the ends of these. Well, I guess I could because I did a pretty good job. I was worried that my seam allowances would have been wonky. So I'm going to fold this and mark my centers. No, I'm not going to snip into my tape. I'm just going to take my pen. It is an ink pen. But I'm just going to keep it out of the seam allowances and just make tiny little marks. Just so I can see them when I place it down. All right, let's do back. Right sides together. Make sure your zipper pulls in the right area. Match your centers. And then place your zipper down against your vinyl. Because see, the reason why you do centers is because sometimes you have that little extra, and that's good to have a little extra on the end because you don't want it too short. It's always good to have that little extra because you can snip that off. If it's too short, then you have problems. All right, so we're going to sew this on. Not going to sew it on yet. So press your fingers. Okay. And then we're going to attach the back zipper pocket. What you're going to do is you're going to take your pocket now, and you're going to take the zipper pocket, and you're going to go right sides together to your back panel. So you're going to take, this is your right side to the back panel. Don't pay attention to the zipper, but to the back panel. Take your double-sided tape off. Attach the back zipper, wrong, well, she's saying wrong, okay, wrong side up, that's right. Okay, so, oh, forgot to mark my centers. Ah, gosh. Ugh. Silly me, I know better. I'm gonna go ahead and mark my center on this side, so that way we don't forget when we get to it. All right. Center up your pocket against the back part of your zipper. I will show you as soon as I get it put on. I'll show you what I'm rambling on about. There we go. So there it is. So there's my panel. There is the right side of my lower back panel. This is the right side of my zipper pocket. We're putting these right sides together, but my zipper is wrong side, right side together with my zipper, back zipper panel. I hope that makes sense. And my thing is coming off. And then you're going to sew this on. I mean, if you have a zipper foot, preferably a zipper foot. I have one. It doesn't, I don't know. We don't like each other. It don't like my machine, or I don't know, or I don't like it. I sew with the foot that came with the machine. I just snug it up real well. So you're going to start at the end. You're going to sew this all the way in at the seam allowance. And when I get to the actual zipper piece, sometimes when I have enough layers, I can get my accurate seam allowance. Just make sure your zipper pull gets out of the way. So I'm going to unzip it. There we go. And just like I say, move your zipper pull out of the way. There we go. And just go all the way to the end, one end to the other. You're not sewing, you're sewing the whole thing on with the tabs and all. Whoops, I kind of veered off a little bit. Let me back up a little bit. There we go. All right. So there is that. You will trim these tabs down, but I'm going to wait until I get the pocket completely on so you have your tabs. So there you got your piece like that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to pull your zipper tape up, lining down, and you're going to put your lining and your lower back panel wrong sides together. Now this is that smooth and vinyl, so I'm not gonna, I could, but I'm just gonna press it, finger press it, pull it tight. You can use your little roller too and help that a little bit. Oh, my vinyl is just kind of got to work with it a little bit. As some would say, manhandle it. I don't know. Is that even right? I shouldn't say that. Never mind. I was gonna... All right, so just work it out to get it to. I'm gonna zip this up so my zipper's not separating. Just kind of got to work with it. I'll pull this down as I sew to make sure it stays out of the way, but I'm gonna try to work with it a little bit. That way it's not as difficult. But there we go. That's better. And we're gonna top stitch. And I am knocking stuff off my station. There we go. I don't think I need what I dropped. All right, so boom. And then we're gonna top stitch again, top stitch, making sure I'm not missing comments. Ooh, I've got a mess, guys. I have got a mess. I'm gonna have to clean up a little bit tomorrow morning. Yeah, I think we'll do it Sunday afternoon. Be on the lookout, because I want to finish this bag. I want to see what it looks like. That's my problem. I start sewing a bag and it's like I can't stop until it is finished. All right. So, boom, there you go. So there is, so you've got your back pocket. It's your, not back pocket, but yeah, your back pocket is still not fixed, and you've got this top stitch there. So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the other end of your back pocket, fold it right sides together to your other pocket, and you're gonna line it up to the top of your zipper tape. So remove your backing off your double-sided tape. Whoops, this is in 2 pieces. There we go. Pull it up to that. I've got my center mark, so make sure you keep in line with your center, and make sure, line it up to your center, but make sure when you put it down that these sides line up as well. So just line it up like that. Let me turn this so I can see it better. And that. There you go. So press that down. And then top stitch this here to attach the back pocket. So see, I've got the back pocket at the top of my zipper tape there. So that way, if you see, when you open and unzip it, you've got your little pocket. And that creates your pocket doing it that way. That's so pretty. Oh, the collar is so pretty. Okay, so let me top stitch that. And let me see if it's just doing a, I'm just double checking my okay. I'm just making sure of the seam allowance to sew this on, because sometimes it's just a basting stitch. So you're seeing, because you're gonna, when I attach the top, you don't want to see that extra, because you'll be sewing the top. So just give me a second here. So we're going to baste this on. And you just only need to go to where the pocket starts and ends, since this is not, this is basically just closing up your pocket is all you're doing. So I started at where my pocket started and stopped where my pocket ends. See, there's the pocket there. And then I just stopped. I didn't have to. I mean, you could go to the end if you want, but I didn't. You don't have to. All right. So now I'm going to take it. What you're going to do is you're going to sew this shut. But what you're going to do is you're going to sew it shut. But because you've got it already affixed at the top, you're going to flip your panel and you start sewing. This is the best way I know how to do it, is you're going to try to sew as close to this as you possibly can right here. Okay, even though this is going to be in the way, I just take it, and what I usually do is I just butt it up the best I can. Let me decrease my seam stitch length, and I'm just going to lay it down. And sometimes if you just lay it right on there, you can still get it and it not be too bulky behind your presser foot. And she gives you the seam allowance. Just be careful where you start stitching. You don't want to go too far up into it, because that will cause a pucker in the front of your panel. If you go too far past that seam right there and start sewing in that spot or sewing up into that, that will put a pucker in your pocket there. You don't want to go past where that stitch is. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to sew the other side shut. This one, let's see. I'm going to start from the bottom and go up. It's just easier to sew it that way. Just kind of got to go slow. There we go. I hope that you guys have enjoyed so far what I've got out there. I appreciate you guys, everyone that's been here, the ones that's jumped on and later and that was here early on. I really, really appreciate it. I know there was a hiccup I'm going to figure that out, how to do that, where I can schedule it and then go in on the scheduled one. I'm hoping I can figure all that out for future, because I really like to do these, because I love talking to myself, obviously. So there's my zipper pocket. Boom. Okay. So after you get the zipper pocket sewn on and you do all of that, you're going to grab your top, back top here, the piece here. Grab that. Take off your double-sided tape. Backing, not the tape itself, but take off the backing. All right. I did it again. I forgot to mark my centers. Ugh. So if my daughter gets home before I end this and she brings that goofy dog down here, I'll show you the dog. The dog, again, it's a puppy. She's 14 weeks old. She's afraid of stairs. You can't get her go. My daughter's got to take, she just got her the other day, so she hasn't had a chance to teach her stairs yet. She, the breeder started her on stairs, but she don't like her stairs. She has to carry her up and down the steps. So we'll see. She, like I say, she's a scaredy cat. Emmy was not a scaredy cat of nothing. Emmy was never afraid of anything. All right, so we're going to stitch this on at the seam allowance that she gives you. Again, keep mindful of where your zipper pull is. And I always say that because I forget sometimes, and I'll hit that, and then and then it's a hot mess. Usually when I say something like that, I've done it. Okay, let me move my zipper pull out of the way now. Move it up. I just have to, I'm going slow because, again, I'm not using a zipper foot, and I have to kind of keep it, I have to hold it in place or it will slip and go off my seam allowance. All right, guess what? Top stitch, fold it up, and you're going to top stitch it, but you're going to fold it up with the seam allowance. Oh my gosh, Delphina. I wish I was in Arizona. I want to live in Arizona so bad. I cannot get my husband to move to Arizona. Unless the kids moved with us. I don't think they want to move either, honestly. But I'll tell you what, I would so much. I want to live in Tucson area, out in Tucson. That way, if I missed snow, all I had to do is drive up. Oh my gosh, Mount Lemon, get my snow fix. Of course, if I drove up to Mount Lemon to get my snow fix, I wouldn't drive down that mountain because I'd be scared to death to drive down that mountain. Even though I grew up in snow, I hate snow. Ugh. I'm so sick of snow. People tell me if you move to Arizona, I would regret it because I would never get snow and it'd be hot all the time. And my philosophy is, well, I'm 60 years old. I moved to Arizona now. I'll be dead by the time I forget, by the time I miss snow. Again, I can always drive up to Mount Lemon or up Flagstaff and see my snow. If I ever get sick, miss snow, I just don't see myself missing snow. Oh my gosh. Well, I guess that's good. Maybe she won't be scared when we come around her. My husband tries to play with her, and he tries to pet her, and she just runs from me. Of course, he's a big guy, so maybe, I don't know, it's his size. Okay, so my back zipper pocket is on. Again, we got the little tabby sticking out a little bit, so we trim those off. Again, I wanted to wait to trim them off until that was complete. That way I can be accurate, because there's like a least little bit of curve to this bag. Boom. Well, she's not home yet, and it's almost 10:30. Okay, so there's my back panel. Isn't that pretty? And look at that. I like that because the zipper pocket is just right in there. I love it. Boom. Zipper. Bloop, bloop. Oh, look at that. Oh, I love it. That's a great pocket for a phone, cell phone, and a couple things. Key fob and a cell phone. That's a great pocket for that. All right. So at this point, this is when you put the backing, the interfacing on the back of the pocket. So we're going to put the interfacing back here. I won't do that right now because I'm not, yeah, I'm going to need to because of, the next part is going to be the flat panel. She's not home yet. She's on Mall Road. Okay. Let's see. Sharon. Okay, see, Sharon, I'm telling you, I would miss snow. I wouldn't miss it. Of course, if I live in Wisconsin, I'd never miss snow after I move away from there. I mean, we don't get the snow like we used to, but I'm going to put this on real quick because I need it to go to the flat panel because if she is almost here, I need to extend this out. She's almost here. She's 10 minutes away. So let me do this interfacing real fast. I just got to be careful when you interface because it's got the zipper on it. So if you do this interfacing, make sure you're mindful of your zipper because it's a nylon zipper. So you don't want to like leave it on there like extra long when you put it on a heat press. I mean, not everybody, of course, has a heat press. But actually, I bought this for my daughter, and I tell you what, I use this thing. It is fantastic for interfacing. I do not have problems with interfacing peeling since I used her, I use that. Okay. There you go. So there's that. My interfacing's on. Again, make sure you stay below that line because that's our fold over line for our panel. Okay, flat panel. Oh, I need to put my piping. Oh, I don't put piping on the back, just on the front. So I do not need to put piping marks on here. My connectors. Oh, I'm going to show you what I did for my connectors. So she gives you placement of the connectors, and I'm using connectors that's almost exactly like this. See, I just popped a little, punched a hole down there at the bottom. So when I place this down on my piece to mark for my connectors like this, all I got to do is take my marking pen, and just do a little tiny mark. I'm using the removable, the silver pen, and I just make a tiny little mark, and I'll know where to put the bottom of my connector. And my connectors come to a point, so I'll use my point to mark where my connector goes. We'll do this next. I'm not going to do the connectors right now because you got to do the flap panel first. So, but that was just the thing. It's so pretty. Oh. I wasn't quite sure how well it was all going to work out with all this together, but I like it. Flap panel, flap strap, flap panel. See, there's flat panels, flap straps, bottom flap. There's a lot of flaps. A lot of flaps. Flat panel. This is the bigger piece. This is that piece here. This piece is going to be, I don't know. I have to think where it goes. But anyway, so you get your flat panel. You got to draw the seam allowances as indicated on the pattern piece. So you got piece, and you got all these nice little marks on this pattern piece. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my pen. I'm going to go in and make little marks, and then I'm going to just take a ruler and connect them. So I'm going to get the top, I'm going to the bottom, make my marks. Okay. I got my marks made. I'm just going to grab my ruler and just connect them that way. Oh, that ruler's not long enough. I need a longer ruler, and my longer ruler is away. Oh, wait a minute. Boom. I just thought of this. We'll use this. We'll use this. Cass needs to hurry up. Okay, so I'm just going to use this to make my lines because my long ruler is behind me, and I don't want to get up. I want to get up and go grab it. And it's so big. It's a big quilting ruler. I tell you what, if you go from quilting to bag making, a lot of the tools that you use in quilting, I'm telling you what, you don't have to. Well, I shouldn't say you don't have to buy. I mean, you can use what you got. All right, so we're going to draw that line. We've got 2 more lines to draw, so I'm just going to place them. I'm not doing very good. Okay, so she's apparently out there somewhere. She got to carry that dog downstairs. I don't know if anybody wants to see it or not. Oh, there you go, Sharon. Now, I'm so bad, Sharon. I got, okay, so last year in the Stone family, my husband's side of the family, he's one of 6 kids. And while we didn't have a bunch of kids, I mean, a couple of them had 3 kids. Most of us just had 2. And then there's one of them had 1. But anyway, we had last year 4 babies born in the Stone family. We haven't had that many babies born in one year since 1988 when I had my son. There was 3 of us. 3 of us pregnant in my husband's side of the family in 1988. We all had my sister-in-law, she had my niece in June. No, yeah, Brittany was born actually on my birthday in June. My niece. And then me and my other sister-in-law, we had our babies in October. I had my son in October, and then 2 weeks later, she had her daughter. So anyways, we've not had, I mean, it's always been one or two, couple in 1 year, blah, blah, over the last 6 years, because this is last year. Last year, there were 4, I can't count them, 4 new babies. So there were 4 of my nieces had babies. They were all Stone nieces. They were Jim's sister's kids. Let's see. It's Jim's sister's I can't think. No, one is her brother. Anyways, that's either here or there. 4, yeah, there was 4 of them born last year, and I always make the babies' quilts. I still working on them. I don't know why not. I'm making just 5-inch square blocks. That's all it is a block quilt. But I got to sit and lay them out to make sure my colors look right. And I've not sat down and done that. I've got to sit down and do all of that. And I'm so bad. And now one of them, actually the one of them that had a baby last year, is going to have another one. They'll be a little over a year. They'll be like 15 months apart. She wasn't planning on having another one so soon, but sometimes it happens. But anyway, so I am putting double-sided, just enough double-sided tape on each side of the long edges. And then what you're going to do is go to, because I'm doing option B, so I'm going to go from 41 to 43. I'm going to skip 42 because that is option C. So I'm going to go to 43, and then I'm going to fold this over to the line, taking the flap and folding it over to the line. Okay, I hear my daughter upstairs. So if anybody wants to see this puppy, Again, it's a Scotch collie. Never heard of such a thing. Now, when the kids were little, we had full-blown big old collies. They were named, we named them Paul and Silas. They used to, when they were little baby pups, and we'd have them behind the gate. They would they sit there, they would cry and whine. And my husband made a comment about Paul and Silas when they were in jail, singing in jail. But anyway, she's got this dog.
I heard you talking smack about my chicken baby dog.
Your chicken baby dog?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to have to bring her around.
I don't want to be on camera. I am not camera ready. I've been sitting
I'm
outside
not holding
for
that dog.
Hours.
Oh. Somebody want to see her? Does anybody want to see you?
Not me.
Joy? I can see her nose. I'm trying, Cassie. She's not looking. So there she...
Here I am.
I'm going to choke. There she is. Joe wants to see the puppy. Who's the real chicken? Oh, I'm not the chicken. I don't want to hold a dog. There she is.
Hey, hello. See, I've been so good today, but I'm very, very tired. She fell asleep under the table, and I had to carry her back to the car. She wouldn't get up. She's so tired.
Tired little puppy.
She's exhausted.
All right, let me see. Did Joe get to see the puppy? Hold on. Nancy said Joe wants to see the puppy.
Oh, Joe, is Joe there?
I don't know. She's home.
Okay. Is Nancy home?
Sharon says, what a cutie.
She's real sweet. She's laying on my shoulder.
She looks like she's shaking. Or no, she's not shaking.
She's not shaking.
Joe's seeing her. Here, I'll take her, bring her back real quick.
Woo. You see her? Don't look at me. I'm ugly and a mess.
All right. Okay. We're done.
Well, that's a pretty bag in the floor. I haven't seen that one.
I've been working on that lunchtime.
Okay.
Oh, Nancy's saying you're the chicken.
Oh, I'm the chicken?
Yeah, because you won't show.
Oh, because I won't show my ugly face. I've been sitting outside sweating
You look
for
like
2
you've
hours.
You look like you've been sweating a little bit.
God.
Her markings, Delphina, her mom had the same markings. That face is her mother's face. We've showed a picture of her mother, and that's her markings on her face.
Oh,
but she's yeah, she's
You ready to go to bed? Will you walk up the stairs?
she's getting used to it.
She did so good. She had like a horde of little girls petting on her, and she just sat there.
She's gonna be tall.
Yeah. And Emmy was not afraid of anything ever. And Emmy
That's what I said.
I
Emmy
heard
was
you.
never afraid of nothing.
Emmy was.
And then we got the little chicken dog.
Yeah, Emmy was the best dog ever. Joy has big.
Cassie,
shoes
make
to
sure she
fill.
don't get none of my crap.
She won't. I'm watching her.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish this out real fast, the flat panel. And then you got your 2 markings here. Oops, let's take that back down a little bit. Woo!
Joy, come on.
Okay, so you've got your 2 markings here. That's from the pattern piece. You're going to take their stabilizer piece.
She's under your
Cassie,
table. I'm trying to get her.
come on, whatever your name. I keep wanting to call her Emmy.
I'm sorry. Her name is Joy.
I know.
All right.
She can't get out.
Figure out how to get out.
Oh my gosh, now she's laying down. Sorry guys, hold on. I got a dog laying
I'm
down
really
underneath my
sorry,
table
Joy.
because she can't figure out how to get out.
Come here.
Come on.
Come here, pup.
Oh my gosh, she's... I wish you guys could see this. She's got herself trapped behind my foot pedal and she's not moving.
I'm
Come on,
laughing too hard.
puppy.
Got it. Oh, honey, that had to hurt your little knee. You need to go to bed.
There we go. She's figuring it out.
Come here.
Now you're going to have to get all the thread off of her.
I'm going to have to brush her just to get all the bits of fabric and thread. Oh, that's a spider. Get away from my puppy. You're dead.
Okay. Anyway, sorry guys. All right, let's get this camera.
All
Let's
right.
finish this out real fast and then we'll call it a day. I know I'm going way past than I said.
We're going
All right.
upstairs.
So we've got the bottom marking. We are going to take the stabilizer and place it right below the bottom marking like that. See how it fits right in between? So we're going to take this and put it right there. I am going to, I do have a little glue. I'm going to go ahead and throw some glue on here. I don't know how well it'll stick to this fabric. It wasn't sticking to the glue was not sticking to the fabric that had like the felt or fabric backing. But this is a different, this faux real fabric, vinyl is got a different backing. It's kind of more like, reason why she calls it faux real, because it's kind of got like a leather backing. Okay, so we're going to take this stabilizer right here, and I'm going to take it, line it up to the bottom line, and just slip it right in there like that. Okay. Okay, so with option B, you can either cut the piece full length for option B, or you can just do half. I'm just doing half. I just thought I'd mention this in case somebody notices it and does option B. I'm just doing half because, again, this is a thicker and heavier vinyl, so I'll be okay with the stabilizer not being the full, because you're going to fold this anyways, and you don't need, I don't need all of that extra bulk. So now this is when we are going to install our male snap. So it's got flat panel, gives you, or you're supposed to install the snap on the option B. So I'm going to puncture a hole. I forgot to puncture a hole there, so I'm going to puncture a hole there so I know where to mark. I'm going to lay this down, just line it up, center it on your piece. This does have a center mark on there, and I'm just going to do a quick little mark here on this. So I'm going to line that center mark, even though this is smaller, you know, than the piece itself. As long as I line these up, I can do the center correctly and find the correct center. So line it up to the center. Make sure you're straight. I'm going to make a tiny little mark to where the snap's going to go. So I've got my little mark there. And then I'm going to go ahead and make my cuts. I'm just going to go ahead and cut directly rather than making ink marks and stuff. So let's cut this. Since we got interrupted by the dog, we'll go ahead and finish this. And then we'll stop here. As it is a quarter, oh my gosh, it's 10 till 11. And I forgot. All right, so we're gonna make our marks here. Cut that for my snap. This will be easier to go through because it's just the one piece. Now, because I'm just cutting through the one piece of vinyl, I am going to put a piece of backing on my behind this just here. I don't need the whole piece, but I am going to put some support on the back of this piece. That'll work for perfectly. Cut me some slits in here. This is just support since I'm just using the, since I didn't do a full piece of stabilizer in my piece here. All right, let's get my snap. Got it right here. Poke it through. Look at that, that's easy. I think, oh, I didn't cut that piece. I thought I cut it all the way through. There it is right there. I'm going in the wrong spot. My prongs are out of whack here. All right, let's get this put on. Boom, boom, and boom. Boom. Are we booming yet? There we go. Got it, got it, got it. All right, stabilizer's on. Washer on. My stabilizer needs push. There we go. And then got that. Probably making people nervous by that. Let's see. Okay. So snap is on there. And again, I put a little piece of Peltex only because I don't have my stabilizer all the way down. Again, on part B, you can do it all the way down if you want to. All right, let's cover this up. I am going to grab a piece of double-sided tape and cover it up this with double-sided tape because that, I'm gonna tell you what, that Gorilla tape just gives my hands a workout. Let's see, I need to cut it just a smidgen smaller. There we go. Now, let's see. Okay, so, ooh, I made a mistake. All right, so we will have to finish this tomorrow because I just noticed something, and this is where I didn't read over real well. The other little loop. This loop is riveted on for option A and B versus sewn like this. It's and since I've already trimmed this down, the seam allowance, it's gonna not be correct. I showed you incorrectly on this, and I'm sorry. How did I mess up? Let me look real fast to see how I messed up. That way we don't. Okay. So I'm gonna, just so anybody who does this, on page 23, it tells you after you cut the strap for option B, you're supposed to stop there for these little loops when you cut it, because she tells you the measurements. So when you cut this, for option B, you stop. You don't go any further. And where I sewed these together. Only if option A, you will take one of the pieces and sew it like I did. So that's where I messed up. I didn't pay attention. Step 21 says option A. I didn't pay attention. So I'm just telling you this only because I gave you wrong information and I want to make sure you know I give a correct. So after that, after you cut these pieces to the lengths that she tells you on page 23, you stop, set them aside. Then when you get to this part here, which is page page 32 and 33 is when you get these guys. So on page 32, it tells you how to install the strap. It tells you where to install, skip from this step to, okay, for option C. So option B, yes. So for option B, it tells you where to put rivet holes on your piece. See these right there? Option B, rivet holes. So it gives you where to put rivet holes. That's what you're going to do on your next step after you install the snap. Then you're going to go in and mark and put rivet holes into this strap. And then you're going to put rivet holes on this. So this is what we're going to start with when I come back. Again, I think it's going to be Sunday afternoon. Good night, Sharon. Thank you so much for sticking with me through the video. I really, really appreciate it. So we're going to do that in the next part. So it's late. Everybody I know is late. I'm going to redo these pieces. And then when we come back, I will show you how to do it the right way. So let me put the camera back up. I know we had our little dog situation. That was funny. I'm telling you what, it was funny. She got under my table. She couldn't figure out how to get out from underneath it. And then she just laid down, which is funny. Because Emmy, her other dog, she wouldn't. When she'd come down here, Emmy would come down here. She always looked for an out because she hated being in the basement. So she was always looking for a way to get out. So she would never lay down on my table. She was always wandering around looking for a way out. Anyway. Good night, everybody. Thank you again so much for watching. I will post what time Sunday that I will be back. And we'll finish this bag. Hopefully Sunday. I want to finish it Sunday. That's my goal. And I'll try not to talk as much. Thanks everybody. Give me a like if you can. If you joined and you're not a subscriber, I would love for you to become a subscriber. And everyone have a great night. Talk to you soon. Bye.